You know what time it is?
What is up, everyone? Oh, I got like to the camera. My bad. How is everyone doing on this fine Sunday evening, guys? Yeah, we are already at the end of April here. A lot of stuff happened this week with Power Rangers in particular. I had thought about like doing like X-Men and Ninja Turtles this week, but I know a lot of you guys are going to want to talk about some things that happened this week, which was insane. So, um, first we'll say hi to the chat. We got Astronaut Ranger saying, "Say let's go." You know what time it is. We got Nerd Affiliate in the house saying, "What's up, everyone?" We got Jay Bizla saying, "What's up, everyone? What's going on, man?" We got Maddie saying, "Evening all." Johnny's here. Hey, Daniel, what's up? Hey, what's up, Johnny, man? How you doing, man? We got Tyler saying, "Howdy, folks." Dylan Estrada from Facebook saying, "Dios." Wanda, of course, as always. Thank you for being here, Wanda. And if you guys didn't know, she was our sponsor last week for the Super 7 giveaway that was very quickly claimed by the winner. So, and we have a special guest coming up here right now. Now, guys, if you guys have been following us, we have been very much talking about NostalgiaCon coming up here soon for San Antonio. So, here to talk about a little bit today, I have a special guest. If you guys saw the post, it is going to be Allie B. How you doing, Allie?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, um, we have been working together on NostalgiaCon. Now, a lot of the chat knows this because they've been seeing my very frequent posts about the Rangers that will be there, the cosplay contest, the after party that we're all putting together. I know I've been working
Yes.
pretty hard on the show. You've been working hard on the show. What is
Right.
something that people can look forward to for NostalgiaCon that's something that you're looking forward to for NostalgiaCon?
I think I'm definitely looking forward to like just the full cast of Yu-Gi-Oh. Well,
You
pretty
go.
much almost the full cast of Yu-Gi-Oh, and then of course of Pokemon. I mean, and
Yeah.
of course the Pokemon theme song to be performed. So I'm super excited.
Awesome. And you're in charge of the cosplay contest, right?
Yes, correct. So I'll be organizing it, and I'll be one of the cosplay guests, judges as well. So it's gonna be awesome overall. We have the adult category and the kids category. It's gonna be amazing. So
Have you selected your cosplay yet for that weekend? Or are you still thinking about it?
yes,
Is
yes.
it a surprise?
So
Or are we allowed to know?
no, you're allowed to know because I've already pretty much linked it out on my socials already. So for sure, I have two like official ones. One, I'm bringing back, of course, my Rogue. So Rogue is definitely going to be one, and I'm partnering up with my hubby. He's coming back out of retirement for a day, and he's
Really?
going to do Gambit. Yes, so he'll be Gambit, and I'll be Rogue.
Oh,
So we'll
that's so
be doing that
incredibly
on
sad.
Sunday. Yes, especially because X-Men 97, it's just like perfect.
Is
So
he gonna
it's so
have the hole in his
nostalgic as
stomach?
well.
He's gonna put a
I'm
little
sorry?
hole in his stomach. He can put a little hole in his stomach from the Sentinel.
Yeah, pretty much. I told him that, yeah. I told him I was like, wait, should we like make it all bloody and everything and then me crying?
Oh
I was like,
yes.
should we do that? And
And
he was like, no, let's not like make people cry. I was like, I know, but
no,
so
you should
definitely
totally go
Rogue.
for it. Just be like, I can't feel you, sugar.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. But so definitely them, and then the other one is Zishu. I cannot. Sometimes I'm really bad pronouncing names of characters because of how they're actually said on the cartoon itself. But it's from
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh. She's the Egyptian goddess, the sister of Merrick and all of them. So
Oh,
so I'll
okay,
be
cool.
definitely doing that one on Saturday. So
And then
those are
Sunday.
two for sure. My
Okay, two
third
for
one,
sure.
yeah, two for sure. My third one, it's still up in the air. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna have enough time to finish it because I'm struggling with Gambit because I'm actually making Gambit like from head to toe for my
Oh,
husband.
okay.
So it is a lot of work on that one, and we're getting close to finishing it. So if we get it done in time, then I might be doing either Squirtle for Friday, or I might just do my Bunny Bulma. So
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Now I got a
Yeah.
couple of your cosplay crew on here. I didn't. There were so many guests for cosplay, which was insane.
Yes.
But one will be Cassie Moon. She will be there all weekend, and we're actually be working with her on a wrestling project. So she's gonna be interviewing possibly
Ooh.
Thunder Rosa, maybe like kind of an English and Spanish situation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so actually, we just talked to Thunder Rosa last week, and she's gonna allow Cassie to do her makeup. So,
Oh,
Thun-
yes. That's gonna be awesome. And she does
yeah, Thunder
amazing work.
Rosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw, and so Thunder Rosa saw her work. She's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So she was
Yes.
really cool. Then we have Maddie, who will be there. Maddie Mason, a big figure here in San Antonio. She does a lot of cons, well, in Texas in general, but she does a lot of cons here. And
Yeah.
then we also have Kelly Lestron.
Yeah.
She's fairly new to my awareness because I'm very not aware of like the cosplay. So it's funny because my friend Andrew is a cosplayer. I think you know him as Oliver Queen, and he does a lot of the Power Ranger cosplays.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And we started a cosplay team together, and he's like leading it. So I was like, dude, because he was like, we should start a cosplay team, and I was like, dude, I don't know anything about cosplay, so you can use my name, but you're gonna run it, man. So I'm gonna have the person that knows it in charge of it because I mean he's
Yeah.
making like we're having armbands, and he's making our armbands from scratch. Like
Oh wow. Yeah.
he's doing the whole thing. Let's see. So some other things that I know this audience will be. We will have Philip Andrew. He will actually be in my section at NostalgiaCon, which will be. I actually my section is really close to um the celebrity section, so it's actually right next door. So I'll be right there. Will of
Yeah.
course Lex Lang will also be there. He is a very famous voice actor in his own right, but he was also Zenaku, Larigo, and Ecliptor in Power Rangers, which is like
I
he's
didn't even
one of
know
like
that. I
he's one
didn't
of the
even know
biggest
that.
voice actors in Power
Yeah.
Rangers history. All three of these characters are like epic characters, and Larigo is one of those ones that was like Howard the Duck. Now people are starting to like look back on it and like we miss Larigo. So
Yeah.
like, um, who else do we have? We got Jenna Frank, a friend of the channel here, will be there as well. And we will have Tracy Lynn Cruz, another friend of our channel as well. She will be there in my section as well. Signing Saturday only for her. It'll be Saturday only. And then those two, I have my nice little section code right there. And then Thunder Rosa will be making her debut in San Antonio for NostalgiaCon on Friday only. She had to cancel on Sunday due to AEW appearance. It looks like so. She just actually lost her championship match, so she's
Uh-huh.
out. She's out for revenge for that. And then, of course, Walter Jones will be there for NostalgiaCon Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Of course, you guys know him as Zach Taylor, the original Black Ranger. I was able to help get him there, so that's really awesome. Then we're going to have a Digimon reunion with all these characters. Now, my favorite character here is War Greymon. War Greymon here in the corner. That is my favorite Digimon. Do you have a favorite one, Allie?
Gabumon.
Which one?
He was always my favorite. I don't know why. I guess because of how cute and just fuzzy he is. Yeah.
And
He was just so
then
cute and dorky.
we're having a Team Rocket reunion, which I think they say this is the first time this has ever happened. I'm
Yes,
not
I think
entirely.
so.
So they're doing a lot of firsts, and I know they said, "Oh, those are all the Rangers that will be there." And we have a Sonic. We have a Sonic reunion. I think this changed just a little bit, but we have a Sonic reunion going on as well. And then of course Blake Foster will be there with the More Phenomenal Expo booth. They will have their own booth there as well. Okay, guys, this is breaking news. This just happened like an hour ago. So a lot of you guys know that are wrestling fans may remember Izzy Moreno, the Super Bailey fan who was a child when the NXT was getting real big. She's actually a friend of our channels also. She works a lot with Mission Pro Wrestling, which is a big part of Countdown City WrestleCast, which is another extension of this channel. But she is going to be there all weekend, or Saturday and Sunday for sure. Friday she has school. We're not sure about that, but Saturday and Sunday. So she's all grown up now. She's wrestling. She just had her first hardcore match this last weekend, And then she, I don't know, maybe she'll go over Mercedes Monet and get her revenge there as well. So, do you follow wrestling, Ali, at all?
Not really. My
Not really.
husband's more into it, but yeah, he gets me
So,
familiar a little bit of it.
so a lot of the wrestlers that are super popular now, they started out in NXT, in the WWE, which is like the training kind of show. And
Hmm.
they only wrestle in one place in one show. And she, when she was a little kid, she used to go there a lot. And she was known as
Okay.
the Super Bailey fan. And Bailey's now the women's champion again right now. But there was a very viral clip where Mercedes Monet, who was at that time with Sasha Banks, uh,
Okay.
ripped her sign up and made Izzy cry, and
Oh, shoot.
went super viral. It kind of got Izzy in with like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and so she's like she knows all of them, which is really crazy. But she's grown up now, so it's been like 10 years later, and she started wrestling.
She's like, you're
She's
not gonna make
starting
me
her
cry
career.
anymore.
No, dude, like I'm scared of her. Like I saw her just totally wreck a 35-year-old man last weekend. So yeah, it was
Oh yeah.
crazy. So yeah, we have a lot going on for NostalgiaCon. Um what is
So
are you I don't know, we haven't had a chance to talk. So we just sort of got the after party set up with Pat O'Brien's, which will be like a 10-minute walk. Are you planning on going to the after party?
oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I'm
Oh, you
definitely
are?
gonna swing by. Oh yeah.
Okay, I was like, I
Come
don't
on
know, because
up.
I know you're so like in charge. I didn't know if you'd be so exhausted for any of that stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
we'll
at
we'll be
least gonna
doing that.
stop by for sure. At least hang out for a little bit. If I do get too tired, I'll be like, all right, guys, I'm out. But at least I'm gonna do the effort and show up a little bit.
Well,
So
that's awesome. So,
yeah.
but yeah, NostalgiaCon coming now. Where? Okay, actually, let me pull this up because I actually was prepared today, and I actually got your Instagram pulled up, so they can follow you at Ali_B cosplay. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So everybody, I put her Instagram in the chat earlier. I pinned it to the top of the page. Make sure to follow Ali B over here. We've been talking, trying to get things set up for NostalgiaCon. It is coming quick. Like I didn't realize it was like
Very
12
cool.
days away until I was like putting it in. So
Yeah. Yeah,
are you?
literally my husband just reminded me, and he was like, like it's like a week and a half away, and I was like, oh shoot,
I
the
know for me,
nerves are kicking in.
I'm not even done like building the stuff for my booth yet. So like I'm just
Same.
like, oh
Yeah.
crap. And I still have like my day job and
Yeah.
like all of this stuff too. So
Yeah, I'm like,
uh,
I still have cosplays. I still have stickers to print for my booth. I still have some
yeah.
artwork to print. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, it always comes out to the last minute things. It always does.
So is this the Rogue one that you're gonna wear?
Yes, Rogue,
Oh,
and
okay,
then of
okay.
course the Gambit that we're working on. So there's a little bit of a progress video on there, and then
Ooh.
Isuzu. I did a little preview of it, but I don't have a full display of it yet. But yeah,
Oh, your
yeah,
husband doesn't
that
need
was really
abs.
working on the armor. Yeah, we had. I was like, I told my husband, I was like, hey, hubby, I know you don't got the abs, but I can make you some abs.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
he's gonna
funny.
get that. He's gonna have the abs there.
Let me see. I was trying to see because I've seen your like your books that you make, the calendars and your cups. I was trying to see
Oh
if
yeah,
you
that's
have it
probably
on
going to
there.
be on my Alibi creation one. So I do have two
Oh,
pages.
okay.
I have my little small business. So I do make little planners from anime themes. That's something that I just started new.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's I just did two themes. One was my first one was Inuyasha because that's my favorite anime, and then the second theme is Sailor Moon. And then I'm working on a Studio Ghibli one as my next one, and then a Pokemon theme one. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool. That's cool. That's awesome. That's really cool. So
Yeah,
again, guys,
some dancing parts.
go follow Allie on Instagram right here, and then I'm sure she has her Allie B Creations up top.
Yes.
Yep, there it is there on top. So if you want to go there as well, you can follow and maybe purchase some of her creations here. Look at that. That is amazing. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
it's all customizable too. So like you can decorate it. It comes with the sticker sheet, so you can decorate it however you want. That's just a little example of how I decorated it. But
That's
it's really
awesome.
cool, and I mean, like the
That's really cool.
pages and everything. If you like planners, I like them. Just it help, keeps me organized. especially when it comes to cosplay and stuff like that, because I do so many events. So it's very customizable. And then every year, I'm just gonna like pretty much you can buy the inserts too. So every
Oh,
year
okay.
you can buy the new sets of inserts that go into the planner. So it's really
Very,
cool.
very cool. Um, well, that's going to be it for Do you want to stay on? There is a lot of like drama that happened with Power Rangers this week. If you want to talk about it a little bit, but I don't
Oh,
know.
I'll stick up. Yeah, I'll stick around for a
Okay.
little bit.
Okay. Cool. Let me. So, guys, we actually have another special guest. A lot of you guys know him from the fan club. He likes to act like he's like grassroots, but the dude has like 30,000 subscribers on or 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. So he's big game here. So, guys, I want you guys welcome to the chat. Dan Brosnan, put your emojis in the chat. What's up, man? How you doing, man?
What's going on, bud? You can always guarantee this guy's gonna give you a good intro, man. Shout out, Dan. How we doing, guys?
Dude, man, this week has we have been like I've been working really hard on Nostalgia Con. We've talked about this before. Like, I've been helping them put together some parts of the show. I'm actually helping them with Houston. And then like this stuff happens with Power Rangers, and we're just kind of like, I thought we were supposed to be talking about X-Men now. Like, I thought we weren't going to be talking about Power Rangers stuff. So, man, Allie, the first thing that sort of happened this week was a couple years ago, Hasbro bought Power Rangers for almost $500 million, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
this week they decided they're a toy company, and this week instead of making their own toys, they decided to outsource their own brand to Playmates, who makes Ninja Turtle toys, because Power Rangers is not on their radar basically right now. It doesn't make enough money for them to acknowledge it. So
Yeah.
Dan, what did you think about that news this week?
So I'm kind of in the middle on this because if you follow you guys know I run like 5 different businesses. I actually quit my day job 3 years ago to I put all my eggs into my basket. So when I look at Power Rangers and Hasbro and these brands, I kind of look at it more from the business lens sometimes. And obviously, I'm a fan and I have my opinions and what I want, but sometimes I have to look like, will this make money? Because if they're not making any money, they can't give us anything, let alone something we want, right? So
Yeah.
when it comes to the numbers of Power Rangers, and I think it goes back to like this reboot has been worked on. It's supposed to be a movie. Then it was supposed to be a series. I think that they canceled a full-on movie. I think something behind the scenes was completely canceled because last year they said, "Oh, Power Rangers is doing good and we're selling toys, but we're in the negative this year." And it made no sense, but they wouldn't really elaborate. So I think with that being said, Power Rangers is in a really weird situation where they like it's not Transformers, it's not Marvel or the Star Wars toys that Hasbro is making. So they want it to be huge. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, when it comes to the numbers, it just doesn't hit when it comes to profit margins, it's not hitting anything comparable. So right now, instead of not making any toys, they're gonna third party it out. They're gonna create a licensing deal with Playmates, who honestly, they've done a great job of taking the 4 same turtles and making all these different iterations.
Yeah.
This is what we need, man. And honestly, yeah, they're going to make less money, but honestly, they might make more money because, as a Lightning Collection fan, the quality control has been awful the last couple years with the toys.
Yeah.
So with and I've said all they have to do, if you just clear up not having to give free figures to people, you're going to make money, right? Like if we just stop giving free stuff away, you're going to be able to do better. So if Playmates is making the investments and they're making the figures, I think it's okay for the fact that we're going to get something, because Hasbro could just sit on this brand and just say, screw it. We're just going to invest in Transformers, invest in the other brands that we have. So I understand where fans are coming from that don't like this, especially the good point you make. You're a damn toy company. You're the only, people don't do this. That would be like Disney calling up DreamWorks and saying, "Yo, I need you to make Toy Story 5 for me." All right. Like, this is a little weird. I can't lie, but business-wise, because it's not hitting the profit margins, let's see what Playmates does. These guys have done a good job with toys over time. Let's check it out. And if it doesn't do good, maybe we can hit up somebody else or just make it our own.
No, I have to agree with a lot of what you said. I want to shout out Patrick. Patrick is the super famous Power Ranger cosplayer in the world. He's probably like the number one Power Ranger cosplayer. So, um, so I had actually went on my friend Archer's channel on Nerd Affiliated, and one thing that I said about it that it's really strange that Hasbro basically said that like Power Rangers doesn't do it for us, so we're gonna outsource it because it doesn't hit that level. And they kind of made Playmates sound like, oh, they deal better with smaller stuff, right? But at the same time, Disney's doing the same crap to them with Marvel and Star Wars. Disney could easily make their own toys. They do make their own toys, right? And they're like, no, we don't have time for those profit margins for 100 million. We'll just send that over to Hasbro because Hasbro, they're a smaller company. They can handle that, right? So it's like it's a weird kind of shade that they threw to Playmates when they said that, but at the same time, like they're in the same position with Disney, like they're their own middleman there, and it's really kind of I think what Power Rangers really suffered from was COVID. Like COVID really hurt Power Rangers, and it hurt it because Power Rangers has always been like a really big toy brand, more than it's been like a show brand or a movie brand, right? That like its main purpose of resources have always been the toy sales, and the toy sales have always been good. And for all 30 years that it's been out on the shelves, there's always been a reason to have Power Rangers on the shelf. You know what I mean? So like that to me, that says like what did Hasbro mismanage at that time? Now we've known since Hasbro bought Power Rangers, they've been wanting to make a more, adult style Power Rangers. Well, at first they wanted to be like Riverdale. Now we're hearing that the vibe that they want is Stranger Things. So they're going darker. They keep on going darker and darker and darker. But they've never had a set plan. So like you said, it was supposed to be a movie. And then the movie first, okay, if we really start back, it was supposed to be a sequel to the 2017 movie. They had promised us that. They said, "Oh, don't worry, we're gonna work on that sequel, even though it wasn't our project. We're gonna do that." So that was the first thing. The second thing was a movie where they were gonna use Power Rangers from the future to go back in time to help the Mighty Morphin Rangers, which everyone was like, "That's awesome! We get a new team, we get the originals, or represented the originals, and we get a new original story that doesn't necessarily mess with the timeline, right?" And everyone loved that. And then they were like, well, maybe we can't afford that because it doesn't make so much money. So we're going to put it on Netflix and do a Netflix movie. And then it turned into a series. Then it turned into a movie. And now it's a series again. So they've been wishy-washy on us the entire time, which really leads us into like a weird space because we have the executive producer who is Jenny Klein, who has worked on, I can't even think of what she's worked on right now, but she's supposed to be working on it. But the main writer is Jonathan Entwistle, who is the director of the new Karate Kid movie that they're working on right now, which just got delayed another year. So,
what are we even doing at this point? Yes, I feel you there. And who knows? I said this in one of my videos. So they're pushing back the movie because Cobra Kai season 6 isn't done yet because of the strike, right? And I guess the movie takes place after Cobra Kai season 6. So the movie might be done and they're still shooting the show. So what I'm hoping, now this is best case scenario, they get the movie done by January and then Jonathan Entwistle's like, okay, my next project's this. And then he can just do all the TV and radio stuff to push the movie, but he can start working on Power Rangers. But who really knows with this project? We're in year 4 of this. Like it's kind of weird. I like to be positive on my channel, but I can't deny when the sky's falling a little bit. Like we don't know what in the hell's happening with this. It's been 4 freaking years.
Yeah. I mean, it's and Jonathan Entwistle is one of those guys that collects projects like Pokemon cards. Like he just has so many things going on. So I know there was a joke when they started filming the Karate Kid. They were like, "Oh, something actually happened that Jonathan Entwistle was in or that was a part of. Like, let's congratulate Jonathan Entwistle for actually starting something, right?" And like it was a whole joke online because he reminds me of like Kevin Smith and like Guillermo del Toro, like those guys that always are working on something, but
Yeah.
like they have one movie come out every 5 years or something
He's
like
like the
that.
Kendrick Lamar of directors, bro.
And I forgot to
Great.
say
He'll
one
put you
thing.
one album every 4 years. Like, yep, feel it, feel
It's like
that.
how did like dude like at this point, and I have to preface this. Allie is very versed in Power Rangers because her hubby is like a Power Rangers like expert as well. Like
He
me
is
and him,
very.
like I tried to steal him from her, but like she has some attributes that I don't have. Well, I have one of the attributes, but that's because I'm fat.
You can
But
still let
like
me cry.
but
Yes. Yes. Especially when it came down to the movie, God, he has so much opinions on that, and he was just
yeah.
so like disappointed of the not the continuation and all of that. So yeah,
He's really when I met him, he was like, "Oh, we're talking about More Phenomenal because our
yeah,
we have that local con here." And he was like, "I really want the Ninja Storm Thunder Rangers." And I was like, "You know who they
yeah.
are?" I was
Yes.
like, because no one ever says that when I meet them. They're always like, "Oh, I want Amy Joe." That's all I ever hear is Amy Joe, right? And so, but yeah,
Yeah.
so I know Ali B had a chariot ride with Catherine and Nakia, right? Is that what
Yes, Nikita. Mhm. Yeah. It was amazing. I was so like starstruck too because I was just like, oh my god, I'm actually giving a tour to my childhood. Like stars. I was just like, oh my god, melt right here. So yeah, it was amazing.
So one thing about the sequel, or the sequel that we never got, Ali. So Patrick Sky, our cosplay celebrity here, he is actually self-financing and he has created a continuation comic. Um,
Nice.
unlicensed, but like he is making his own. He's been writing his own story. He released issue 1 last year. Issue 2 will be coming out at Ranger Stop. The first issue, he sent me a copy, and like if you're a Power Rangers fan, you teared up in the first 2 pages because he put something in there was like very
Oh
very
no.
like yeah, and it was like, oh, like it hits you. I texted him right after that. I was like, dude, I wasn't expecting that. And he was like, yeah, I was waiting for you to text me after you read that part. So,
Oh man.
but he's been doing really well. He's been working with amazing artists, inkers and pencilers and stuff like that. So he's been doing great work for the community, especially for those who wanted that sequel that didn't get it.
Yeah.
But talking a little bit, so we talked a little bit about the reboot, we talked a little bit about Playmates, but now the last thing, I'm sure I'm going to make videos about all this, although I say that I'm going to make videos about stuff all the time and I never actually do. It's so but the third thing that happened was the comic books this week. So they Boom put out a very weird message basically saying that main book, at first they said this is the end, right? And they didn't like clarify. And then they said, well, it's just we're ending the main book. And then it
They
was
did
like,
that on
so
purpose, by the way.
like, dude, and like I was reporting it as it was happening, and people were getting mad at me because they were like, just report the stuff that are confirmed. I was like, no, because there's a lot of crap that's happening in between here. Like people are telling me different things that are happening, like Boom lost the license, or Boom is going to end just the comic book, or Boom is taking a break, just like they are with the pause with the Lightning Collection in the show. So I was hearing different things all the time, and then I heard like there was going to be a reboot, like New 52 style. So I was like, so they were like, okay. At the end, I just put like, this is everything that I heard. You can take what you want from it. But what did you think about that announcement, Dan?
Well, so it was weird. Like you said, there were so many ways you could read it at first, and the way I read it, and maybe it could change because there wasn't a great confirmation. It was kind of left just wide open to interpret how you want to. So,
Yeah.
and for anyone hating on you, like, how do you think news works? Like some things happen, but then if you watch the weather, you watch the news, you watch sports, people talk about trades before they happen, right? Like that's just.
Man.
It's real, I don't know. I think that with the comics, the Mighty Morphin, like, tell me if I'm wrong or kill me in the comments, but hasn't the Mighty Morphin series been going on for like 5, 6, 7 years at this point? It's been a hot minute, correct?
It's had a very good long run for comic books.
Good. And
yeah.
I know it was even like and not to piss anyone off, but comics they're not as hot as they used to be, to put it lightly, right?
No.
And the fact that this series was able to live on past all of these DC and Marvel series that only got a year or two, like there's something to it and it was good. But if they're thinking about ending it, maybe people aren't like it's got to make money, right? Maybe the people aren't buying them as they used to. Maybe the quality's going down. I don't know what it is, but I hear good things about the comics still to this day. I hear the stories are still compelling. Everyone likes them. People that read the comics actually love them. I don't. Oh, like I've got a whole stack of them. I've read about 20 of the 100 that I have. But honestly, I wouldn't trade them for the world. I'm going to my grave with those, man. I love the comics. I love what they did. They were able to just kind of change the game with the storytelling. And now the writers that are doing the show have stuff to fall back on when they get bored. And there's a lot of really good stuff with this. So I think ending that line is okay. I think that is, and who knows if the licensing deal is done. I've heard that too, but deals can always be rewritten, and they've actually been successful. So it's not like a deal that you're like, you're not really benefiting me. I think it works both ways. I think Boom does a good job with it. Hasbro can benefit a little. Boom can benefit a little. But they have been working on newer stuff. So I guess if you think about it, the writing's been on the wall. I mean, how many other different projects? You got the Ranger Academy. You've got other different projects coming out, right? Or no? Is it just the Ranger Academy?
So they're doing Ranger Academy. I'm trying to read Ranger Academy. I cannot get into it. It is hard to get into.
Okay, so that's not good.
I mean, and you gotta understand, like I'm a fan of other things too, right? So like it's not just a Power Ranger thing. It's just it's not interesting to me. And the comics have been doing really well. So I do want to bring up this comment that Mighty Morphin DJ put up here, and I think here it is. So comics have been going on since before the Hasbro acquisition of the brand. So if you guys have been noticing that everything that was Saban owned or Saban contracted has been slowly going away for the Power Rangers brand over time, right? So Hasbro doesn't want to have any of the deals that Saban had with anyone. Not to mention that Hasbro has their own comic book line called Skyline. Is it Skyline, right? Skyline 1, that they do the Transformers comics as well. So I'm not saying that the Boom comic contract is done. I'm not saying that they pulled the license, although it could have happened, right? Because we just saw them pull the license on a bunch of other stuff that they're clearancing out, like with Thigpen, for example. Like they're like 90% off, like they're losing the license to that. So I'm not saying that that's happening, but I'm saying with the timing of, the Lightning Collection, basically, for all intent and purposes, being dead. And that's another thing people got mad at me for saying that it's dead when I said it's dead. And then Black Nerd Comedy went on right after me and said he thinks the line is dead. So don't hate the messenger, man. It's the word. I can't tell you.
Yeah, but you also got to remember you put yourself out there, and
but I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
I understand it, bro. I've been called crazy things just for saying, dude. Okay, so in 2020. When the whole thing came about that Hasbro was moving on from the Sentai, right? I made a video talking about how just saying that we're moving on, we're not going to be using Japanese footage. I had like 5 people calling me a racist because we're moving on from Japanese culture. We're cultural appropriating. That's like it's just people get in their feelings and they get upset sometimes. So when you put yourself out there, you have to you have to understand it's going to come your way, but just be okay because you're morally correct. You're doing it the good job. You're doing it the right way, man. People will still come at you no matter what you do. So just be professional, take it on the chin, and move on because, hey, I know the numbers you're doing, bud. You're doing a good job. So it comes with the territory.
You really are.
Thank
You're
you.
doing
I
amazing.
appreciate it.
You really are.
He's doing a great job.
So, this is what I think this is happening. And I think Patrick is right. So it can be a possibility that Hasbro wants to slowly remove all the Power Rangers off whiteboard to clean slate for Power Rangers reboot and remove any ties to the classic similar to like DC 52 reboot. So I think that could be a possibility as well. The only thing is I don't see, and I think a lot of people don't see it, is they don't see any direction with the brand right now. And that's what makes people kind of weird because as long as we've had Power Rangers, we've known like, okay, we're getting Samurai, we're getting Mega Force, we're getting Dino Charge, we're getting SPD, we're getting Mystic Force. We've always been told like what is coming up and what we're getting, right? But this is like the first time we're kind of been like, we'll let you know. And we're kind of like, I don't think we know how to handle that. And maybe that's an issue because obviously like Star Wars doesn't deal with that. Marvel Marvel, I don't think Marvel always gets their timelines like 3 years ahead. So like if they get notified anything, it changes, right? So DC hasn't been like consistent either. But for Power Rangers, for a brand that's been around for 30 years and always been on TV and has always had toys on the shelves, the institution that you have gotten has always been used to that. Now I have to understand, like I do want to say, like I do believe that this brand is still made for children, and I think we are the weird people in it. You know what I mean?
They
Like
need to change it how it's made
yes,
for the children. If
yes,
anyone watches my channel, I've been saying this time, Blue in the Faith. They need a dang like CGI Spider-Man and his amazing friends type
yes,
Power Ranger show.
yes,
With
yes,
all of the different Power Rangers, because then you can teach the kids all of the old ones, still give the parents something to watch with their kids, and it's not going to be the same, but it will be cool. But then if it's successful, imagine all of the money we can make. Like people forget how much money the Teen Titans made, or
yes.
Teen Titans Go made,
yes,
to
yes.
put into the live action TV show, which was freaking awesome.
And the theatrical movie that they did too.
Yeah,
they did a theatrical film.
They
And
did good, but you have to look at what the kids are into these days. The formula that worked in the 90s was the perfect formula, because think about it. You're a 90s kid. You've got rock music, karate, dinosaurs, colorful like suits. It was just like perfect. In California too. It was nuts. But now that formula is different. Go look at your Blippies. Go look at all your different shows that are hitting and see what the common denominator is. Either it's a live action teaching you something or a CGI show. We're not doing that. We're doing the complete opposite. So really, we're more making the shows and they come out, and who watches it? People our age, like not even the kids. Who's buying the toys? People our age. Yes. So eventually we do have to like grow into the brand. And that's, dude, Marvel's done a great job. Even DC, for all the crap they've given us, has been good or bad. They've grown into the brand somewhat, right? Like they give us adult stuff. They give us kids stuff. Even though I think a lot of their adult animated stuff is better than some of these big money projects they're putting out, but that's a different show. Like, I don't know. Power Rangers could be tapped into well, but the problem is Saban had the same problem. Is they really just got to listen to the fans and not just the numbers, because once they listened to the fans, aka JDF, and made the Master Morpher, they sold that out in like 3 days, right?
Yeah.
So like there is some numbers that show that if they do the right thing and listen to the fans and give them something they want, they'll sell out. But it has to be that right thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to shows, people just want more of like I always say this, I want the consequences to mean something. Like if you have a Megazord battle and you blow up a building, like I want that to be talked about. Like why is everything just okay at the end? I don't know. I want there to be consequences for their actions. That's the big thing for me, is like we're all adults now, and we're the ones mainly like making sure that this business is staying afloat, right? So give us something, man. Give us something little, even if it's just something small. And I thought Once and Always was decent. I thought that was a start, but
it was a good start. And I think the idea that was supposed to be a start as well. One thing that so the Power Rangers reboot is dead. Don't listen to Jinsaku. The thing is, like, Jinsaku has been right on other things too, so it's kind of hard not to listen to Jinsaku. Like, we understand who he is and what he's doing. Like, he's trolling people sometimes, but we've understand that he's also correct. He's also put out correct information sometimes. So that you can't ignore that all the time. And as people that get you the news, the people that want, because from all of us, right? When we're connected to something, like, what do they want to know? They want to hear what's going on now, right? But I can tell you this, but it's not confirmed, right? But like, we'll tell you that, but if you don't like the information we get you, we can't help that. You know what I mean? Like, it's the information that we're getting to you. So I think, a lot of people are, there's a section of the community, that doesn't like, there being a female Red Ranger, or there's going to be an LGBTQ plus character in it, and for me, it's just like Power Rangers has always been represented well as far as the community goes. They're just doing it more correctly now. That's the only thing that they're doing, right? And even what they did with Izzy and Fern, like I don't really feel like that was forced or pushed. Like we saw that relationship develop over time, and where it went to Cosmic Fury, which even made more sense when it made Cosmic Fury when Fern became a ranger, was not a ranger, but going to become a ranger as well. So I mean, it's kind of hard. Like I know a lot of people don't like that information that Gensaku put out there, but we can't ignore it. You know what I mean? Because it's information that we got, and not only that, but like Ranger Command also verified some of that stuff, and we know that Ranger Command has like some insider info on that stuff as well. Um, uh, Hold on, let me see. There was someone out right here. So the cartoons. So someone brought up the cartoons, and I asked you to be in that live stream, but I had talked to Melissa Flores about those cartoons, and we talked a little bit more behind stage. What wasn't on the live stream, and Melissa Flores, for those of you guys don't know, she is the lead writer right now on the comic books for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but it looks like her time is ending on the book as well. But the animated movies is something that they definitely want to do. She's no longer like she was previously an executive at Saban, and she worked a lot with the brand. She's now like over there at Boom, and then she's working with the Masterverse with Kyle Higgins and stuff like that. But one thing they want to do the animated movies, and they think that'd be a good dive too. It's just getting Hasbro to approve it and fund it, right? So nobody disagrees with that idea. Everybody loves that idea. Everybody, even inside the loves that idea as well. Now, one thing that we talked about as far as the comics go as well, like, and I know we're like circling back a lot, but like as far as the Mighty Morphin book ending, I don't ever see them really moving on from Mighty Morphin for comic books. Like that's the issue. Like it's too much of a seller. Like people are saying like, well, Zio's coming, and Zio might be coming, but like I'd be really freaking surprised if Zio comes. Like super, like really, like you and Zio. Because what if you're a random person and you're on the store shelves and you see a Zeo Ranger helmet? Are you more likely to pick up a pink Ranger Zeo helmet cover, or are you going to pick up a red Ranger Mighty Morphin cover?
Yeah,
just the casual person. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't help casual sales or someone to just pick up the book and read it, and especially not someone that wasn't around when Zeo happened. You know what I mean? Like for us, like for Ali and for Dan, like we were around when that happened. We saw that happen. Actually, Ali, you might be like 20 years younger than me. I don't even know. But like, but me and Dan were around for Zeo. We saw that stuff happen, so we can see that.
I was around there. Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say. I was like, I think you're still in your 20s. Like, I'm not sure. But you're about to tell me your first season when SPD. So I was like, okay. But yeah, she's working with Marvel. So Melissa Flores is working with Marvel also. But it's just the marketability of Mighty Morphin. I know people are really tired of Mighty Morphin, but it's what sells. And honestly, if you want stuff from other things, like the Lightning Collection, like we had 5 different kinds of Mighty Morphin, right? But because we got that, we got, SPD, we got Lost Galaxy, we got the Ninja Turtle. Like whoever thought we'd get freaking Ninja Turtle Rangers? Like, and we got a lot of my stuff is covered now because I'm Dino Thunder. Like these aren't things we were supposed to get. Like we were expecting Mighty Morphin all over, like literally every single character from Mighty Morphin, monsters and
it's
all.
Just
and
so
then they
nostalgic.
Yeah, and that's great. And that's fine. And I think especially people that weren't, I don't know if it's over like a certain age threshold or something like that, but they're like, nostalgic is killing the brand. But I was like, but it really doesn't. Like,
but see, the argument to that though is people don't get like, if you're a huge Power Ranger fan, then you know about Time Force, about In Space, but like, if you're just a regular fan and you're just mainstream and a little bit of this, you don't even know about all the excessive MMPR stuff. You just see Mighty Morphin and you just think that's Power Rangers. You don't know about Dino Thunder, Dino Fury, Dino Charge. It's really weird, but Power Rangers has so many seasons, people forget about a lot of them. And some of the big fan favorites, like your Time Force, you're in space, which means so much to me and a lot of other fans, mean nothing to the most people, honestly. They have no idea that even exists. They're like, well, once Tommy left or once they went to other suits, I didn't even know. I know a whole generation that's just like a few, I don't know, like I'm 32. I have a few friends who are like 35, 36. They only know Power Rangers with Jason and Tommy. Well, they don't even know about Rocky and Ash, like and Adam and all those guys. Like, so it's weird. It is a generational thing, but they have Mighty Morphin stuff. They collect, so it is weird. But if you want to pay the bills, you got to go with what was number one. And people forget Power Rangers was number one for like 4 or 5 years. Meaning that deep in our hearts, there's millions of us that will just buy that. And people that don't even watch it these days that remember that feeling of watching it. They're like, yo, I love the Pink Ranger. Let me go grab that helmet. Yo, I love the White Ranger. Let me go get that helmet. Like, it's cool. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Allie? I want to hear from you.
So one thing that I especially like, because I go to a lot of conventions, and I have never realized how powerful and how like connected the community of Power Ranger lovers. Like, they're so passionate, and I've never like encountered such passion from Power Rangers before. Like, I just didn't realize how important it was to the community. Because I grew up with more phenomenal, or the classic, and that was it. So I didn't really venture out to really into more Power Rangers, and that's all I know. But after going to more phenomenal and meeting other Rangers and learning a little bit more about them, now I see, I'm like, oh my God, like this is such a big open community about it, and how these kiddos look up to them. And I remember like back then when I was young, because I'm a girl, of course, kicking butt in the little the Power Ranger suit and with the little helmet on. It wasn't like a girl thing. And then like seeing the little kids like get inspired by that, and how like I guess so passionate that they are. I was just like, that was such a like, for me, again, I'm nostalgic. For me, it's very nostalgic, and it's just incredible. I do love the community. I do want to like learn more about it, because I'm not too very versed of it. My husband is. He's so into that. He watched it more than me, so he definitely knows more about that. But it's just incredible. I do love the community still.
And that's the thing, the Power Rangers community is one of the most diverse communities that I've ever been a part of. So, in Marvel and DC have gone so mainstream, and especially Star Wars too. That's a little bit different now. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us were a part of that community, when it wasn't Disney and when it wasn't like, socially acceptable. You know what I mean? So like, we've seen that grow, but now we see like the fandom grow as not the fan, but the fandom. I won't say like just the Power Rangers fandom, but fandoms in general grow exponentially. Like now, like look at Pokemon. Like I just never thought when I was a kid like Pokemon would be a thing. Like still going strong to this day. Now I'm really pissed that I threw away all those cards that I had.
I didn't. 2020, Brazo came up between Pokemon and cryptocurrency. We were balling at one point. We was going to NBA final games and stuff off of Pokemon cards.
I'm so upset, especially like right now that X-Men 97 came, is back on. Because I did have a big collection of the OG Wolverine like comic books, and I'm so upset to still remember. It brings back memories when I was like 9 years old, and my mom had a garage sale, and she sold all of those comic books for $5. I'm so upset.
I did all that when I was 16 to my Power Ranger toys. I'm too cool. Some little kid came through, wanted them. I'm like, oh, buddy, you just give me a few bucks. Just come up with a couple quarters, man. They're yours. And now I'm like, oh, the Megazords and the Morphers and everything.
He probably put them on eBay right after. He was like, okay.
You know what? He was a neighbor kid. I saw him outside playing with those figures. It was cool. It was,
and they went to the right people.
Good. It felt good.
Yeah, I would have been cool with that. But yeah, I mean, like, it's you know what? And it's really like, it's also kind of the same, like, and Dan goes to a lot of cons as well, but like the con community as well bleeding into the Power Rangers, because that's where a lot of Power Rangers fans meet. And
Yeah.
obviously we got MorphiCon coming up in August. We got More Phenomenal in August as well. We got Ranger Stop in June. We're one of the few fandoms that have our own, like, when we have multiple events a year. I think GI Joe has one that they do yearly. I know Star Wars has, like, I don't want to talk about Star Wars, but, like, Marvel doesn't have their own official con, by themselves. DC doesn't have their own official con by itself. Like, we're one of those, like, very, niche,
where the
rare
fans put in work, no matter where it is. I can agree to that. Where the fans make sure that we have Power Rangers stuff, even if Hasbro doesn't. I'll give you that.
And all of us are content creators, right? And so we all put out things that we like. So even for something I say right now that's not, like, you were doing Rogue 2 years ago, Allie, right? There was no X-Men on TV at that time. We've always had the comics, right? But you were out there, you were putting out content that you liked and pushing fandoms that you wanted to push. And that's what we're doing here, me and Dan, as far as Power Rangers goes. Like, even though there's nothing right to do anything, but we're going to continue to put out content. It may sound weird sometimes. It may just be like we just want to talk about it just to keep it alive, but we're keeping it alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but there's fans out there that absolutely are passionate and love it. So
yeah,
they need it. They need it.
So, Allie, we'll talk about this last topic, because I put it in the headline and I feel like we got to talk about it. But what do you guys think about X-Men 97?
Oh my god!
Amazing.
Allie just freaked out. Allie, I want to know
what? So good. The only thing I am upset about, and that's just me. It's of course the animation of the booties. Of course, they're not there anymore.
Yeah, bro. Because
what the heck?
man, I don't really care.
It was just
but
one.
I care.
Everybody was like saying that it's just Rogue or anything. I was like, no, like every single character nobody has a booty. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? But
she was so okay. So, like, it had to be like this. She was so beautiful, but you couldn't touch her. So they made her the most, like, beautiful woman you could possibly make. And, like, dude, all of the dudes got 8-packs and muscle. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, if you're gonna be that way with the girls, why isn't there a dude with a beard with a man bod? I'm just saying, right?
Yeah,
like, if we're gonna hit all of the demographics, but you know what? That's the only thing that I guess you could really nitpick. But honestly, I went into the mindset hoping they wouldn't ruin it, but thinking that was a possibility. And they've proven me wrong. It's been nothing but an amazing ride. There's been some funny moments. There's been drama. There's been moments where I was straight up bawling like a baby. Yeah. I was like sitting here like I remember when the big scene when you know who died. I just sat there like this at my computer screen for like 5 minutes. Like, what? Why did they do this? Like,
do research right after. I was like, he's coming back, right? He's coming back, right? Tell him he's coming back, right? Like, please.
It was great.
I'm actually really surprised they brought in Bastion. Like, I feel like that is such kind of like a very like X-Men character, like that's not really widely known. And I was really surprised they brought them in. Although it made sense to the story and everything, it was like I thought they would have made an excuse like to bring something else in. You know what I mean? Like whether maybe more Wolverine related or something like that. So it's funny because a lot of people think I just know about Power Rangers, but X-Men is one of those comics like I kind of read like up until I was 20 years old. So I know a lot of the stuff that happened. And if I didn't read it, I kind of kept up on it. But one thing that I was really like, because I didn't really know what to expect when the show came on. Because I remember watching the show just every time it came on when I was a kid. But I always remembered it like they did the comic book pretty right. Like, you know what I mean? Like they didn't go off veer too much. The only thing that didn't happen was like Jean Grey didn't die. Like, I remember that was the main thing, but like that wasn't necessarily a big deal because I don't feel like Jean Grey, except for the Phoenix Saga, wasn't really like a much big. And she wasn't a very big character in the original series, right? And then of course, you had the Fox Kid rules, like there couldn't be actual guns; they had to use the laser guns and stuff like that. Yeah. But like that was normal kind of kids TV. But even then, like the old Spider-Man animated series and X-Men animated series kind of dealt with some really serious adult themed situations in those shows. I mean,
X-Men was dark, man. Like,
It
but
is.
they did a
It
good
is.
job of being like a kid, being like 3 or 4. I remember my mom didn't even want me to watch it, but I didn't understand why because a lot of the stuff went over my head. I was 3 or 4. But then once you get older, you're like, holy crap. I even watching the old ones as a kid, like they were dark, and I loved how they I don't know how to say this, but like one episode would be about like Professor X, the next episode would be about Storm, the next episode would go back into Professor X. It was like it would keep you watching the whole season. Like you couldn't really skip an episode because you had to kind of see what everything happened. It was awesome.
Sorry, I just read that Jean or Madeline. I was like, I don't know if it was Madeline now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where that line ended. And that was a real thing. Even Madeline Pryor. Like, I didn't. So when we saw like some of the promos where like Jean was pregnant in the before the series started, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like
that's never happened.
Well, like I'm thinking because remember X-Men Forever, the comic book came out, like that was a continuation of the series, like if it was still like in 90 like that era, right? So they did some really weird stuff like with that one. Like I think Wolverine died, I think Storm became the leader, and like, well, not the leader, but I think Wolverine and Storm got together and Sabretooth ended up being Wolverine's dad or something like that. Like, you know how they're supposed to be brothers. Yeah. Like they went really different. The Chris Claremont stories is what I'm thinking of. Sorry, I went on a tangent there. I apologize. But like Madeline Pryor, like we all know as X-Men fans, like that's the mother of Cable, right? And Cable is not necessarily like a pure, you know, genetic line of the Gray and Summers line, because in the comics they always focus like they wanted the Gray and Summers line to come out because that would create the most powerful mutant, right? So, and then we got like variants like X-Man and stuff like that. And Rachel Summers was another one as well. But yeah, I know way too much. So
I love it because now I know who to call when I get confused about X-Men, because I've been really trying to dive back into it and do like episode reviews and stuff, and I have to go and do a deep dive on some of these characters, man, because like some of them were like Bastion. I barely remember that character. I had to go look it up, and then I was researching it. Do you guys know that Theo James is the voice of Bastion?
No, I had to look that up.
Like,
I couldn't recognize the
I had to
voice.
look it up because the voice was so unique. And I was telling my husband, I was like, I know that voice. I've heard it before. Like, where is it coming from? Like, I research, and I find out, oh my God, it's Theo. Yeah.
There's some good, it's funny because there's a lot of kind of like controversy around the sort. So before the show came out, they're like Morph is binary or you know non-gendered or something like that.
But that makes sense.
But like yes, like yeah, like he can be anyone at any time. Like he doesn't. Why? What?
And they're not even pushing it on you either. They're just like like I feel like some shows you can tell when they're really like pushing a narrative, if you will, and ruining the show because you're just focusing on that and not making a good story. That's always what I like to say. Just make a good story, let everything else go. Like with Dino Fury, I didn't care what they did there because they just made it natural, you know.
Like,
with that situation, it was a little different. It was I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm thinking if the only one I could think that was like really recently like super forced was maybe that Batwoman show. But that was it. But and I want to be clear, like you know, like I'm not, you know, it's not about. I hate the freaking woke agenda, like that stuff. Like I hate when that comes up because I think it's dumb. Like there's gonna be we have different storytellers now. Like traditionally, these stories were always told by middle-aged white men. And now they're like, well, I wonder what this person has to say. And we're getting different stories now, which comes with different characters and different opportunities. You think we would have got Miles Morales if someone else didn't take that on?
And with that point, all they're saying in X-Men is this guy can be a guy, he can be a girl, because he literally can. Like that's all they're saying there. And I know some people just can't live with that because they're giving it a label. Because they're calling him that. But honestly, if anybody is, it's him. Like if you're gonna call anybody whatever, like he's definitely a woke character, but that's like he was woke then back in '92 because
but X-Men has always been woke. X-Men has always been woke. I mean, the original stories were about the civil rights the civil rights issues that were going
Yeah,
on with Martin Luther King. And
they
at that
always
time,
took
people
those
were saying like,
out of it,
it's the same version. Oh, like, you know, this group of people can't have the same rights as this group of people, or you know, we don't want to talk all about that stuff. Oh, they're putting, you know, these groups of people in movies. Why? I don't want to see that group. Like, this is the same thing, but just in a different narrative now. Like, you know what I mean? The idea is like, if we're going to have more representation in the movies and TV shows, I could be in a movie or TV show now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, legitimately, like before it would have been one type of person, and now there's an opportunity for different types of people. I mean, like, look at Cobra Kai, look at Marvel, the Marvel shows that are going on, the Marvel DC shows, critically acclaimed shows. You know, I know some of the Marvel people are saying different things about now, but even then, like Guardians of the Galaxy, all this different stuff that people didn't necessarily like, you know, grow up with, are they're bringing in and they're changing it to acclimate to what is going on better with the world on today, and people connect with it, right? So like, better product comes out when more different types of people get to write or make it.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree to that, because some of the best situations and meetings I've had in my life for people from all different spectrums of the world. And that's real diversity right there, is all different people with different ideas and opinions coming together. And that's what you need with these type of shows. It's just about the plan and execution. It's just like, I think you can always, like, it doesn't matter what the character is, race-wise, sexuality, anything. Just make a good story, and then everything else can fall into play, right? Because then you can't complain about, oh, they focus all their time here, there, got this. Because if the show's good, people are going to watch it. We've seen hit shows be with straight people, with different people from other spectrums. Like, it's cool. No one cares about that as long as you make a good show. And that's really what I'm about. Because X-Men, I didn't care about Morph. I think the media and the way that they portrayed that made us think it was going to be bad. But really, we checked it out and we're like, yo, like, I'm glad you talked about it. So I was reminded to go check it out, because it was actually good. And they didn't pull one of those things where, like, we went to watch it and really they ruined it. Like, they didn't ruin it. They did awesome. And that's all we can ask as fans, honestly.
I think it would have been really hard to ruin X-Men 97. Like, it would have
could.
I thought it would have been hard. I mean, I feel like they did a really good job what we're seeing. Now, I didn't expect like a mutant massacre to say, like, for X-Men, but again, that's the times that we're in. We're more dramatic things that can be told, right? And this isn't necessarily on children's TV anymore. And the target demographic is us, right? So it's not necessarily for the children that we were back then. It is for, they made the show for us and Marvel fans in general. So like, we can have like something crazy like that happen. Like, that wasn't, I could not believe that.
I also am loving that the emotional connection is there too. So you're getting all the emotions of all the characters and all of everything. And it's actually hitting. Like, I love that. I'm like, actually, I was crying. I was actually like tearing up when Gambit. And so it's like, ugh.
I couldn't believe they did that. I really couldn't.
Me either.
Yeah.
I'm still shocked from that.
Patrick brought up, like, they just casually showed Vulcan. That was like, to me too, like, it was like no big. Oh, there's the third Summers brother, just like hanging out there, whatever. But okay, like, and just pan by him, like, dude has complete control of the powers of the other brothers don't. But, you know, that's cool, whatever.
And then they showed the other one with like the fire powers or whatever, right? They showed like two of them sitting there. They showed Vulcan, and then they showed the other one that got the beams out of his arm, that was in like the red and black suit. I was reading an article, and they just threw him in there. They didn't give you so like honestly, if you overlooked it, like me too, I didn't even know until I read an article. It was like, so there's two other like family members, like a son, a brother. They got two brothers, a son of Cyclops. Like, that's cool. They're trying.
Yeah. And someone brought up Morph earlier, but have you guys been noticing like Morph and Wolverine are kind of like very chummy? A little bit more chummy than they were in the original series?
Actually, I have not noticed, but I did notice on Wolverine, but I haven't noticed on Morph.
So I don't know. I just
stress eating, bro.
Huh?
He's been stress eating, bro. He can't sit there and watch Cyclops and Jean no more. He's putting on some weight, bro.
Dude, it's funny. There that scene where Jean or Madeline's like, you know, the baby's coming, or she starts screaming and
He's
Wooly comes,
coming.
is it Apocalypse? And he's like freaking out, and she's like, no, it's the baby. He's like, oh no.
He was more scared about the dang baby than he was about fighting Apocalypse.
That was hilarious, man. And now, like, Jean's kind of has a more thing for Wolverine. Like, the real Jean has a thing for Wolverine, and it's like, whoa, like, it's kind of some crazy stuff going on right now. But, guys, we're getting close to the end of our chat here. I did want to, you know what? I'm gonna do a giveaway. I can't like live stream for like 3 weeks because I'll be busy. I have to do Mother's Day next weekend because NostalgiaCon is during Mother's Day weekend. So like, I need to do something next weekend. I'm gonna have a lot of women mad at me, so I won't be able to live stream. So guys, if you guys want to do a live stream, you know what? I never freaking do this, but since Ali and Dan are here and they got me in a great mood, I'm willing to do this. We'll do international. If no matter where you are, we'll give this away. So I got a Ranger Slayer flip head right here. Full disclosure, the box is crappy. You can see right through it, but the figure is perfectly great. So if you guys are interested in this, go. Actually, let me set up the giveaway tool because I never do that first, and I should, right? So we'll do #nostalgia. Let me put it up here on the screen so you guys can see it. #nostalgia. If you guys are interested for this Ranger Slayer, just put it in the chat and we will. Yeah, Tanya. So Tanya is my Australia follower. She has been really great here. I can't always afford international giveaways or ever, but so she has a chance finally for this one too. I sent her some stickers because I always felt so bad. So, but so yeah, #nostalgia in the chat. It didn't come up.
I just want to say he's the real one because you guys do not know how much it is to send something internationally.
Oh my god, I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, it's funny because I did the Super 7 giveaway last week, and that one had been sponsored. The actual products had been sponsored, which is a big help. But the person that won, I just sent it to Up East. It was $70 shipping just for the Green Ranger Super 7 and the Dragon Zord Super 7. And if those in the chat know that Super 7 are bulky, they're big boys. So that they were, yeah, it was quite expensive. So, but it's okay. I'm willing to do that. So if you guys are interested in this one, just put it in the chat. Now, while we're here talking about that, we'll talk about the last day in the title real quick. The Last Ronin has been announced as a live action movie that will be coming soon. Are you guys familiar with The Last Ronin?
Yes, I am.
Alex, so this is Ninja Turtles. So this is basically only one brother lives. All three other brothers have been murdered, and he's the last turtle trying to get revenge.
He's now an assassin. He let go of all of Splinter's teachings. He's just there for revenge and probably go out in a blaze of glory. Like it's a crazy, insane thing. It's such an insane story. They're making a video game, and now that inspired a movie. Like everyone's trying to get in on this action.
So it's going to be rated R. What do you guys think about a rated R Ninja Turtle movie, live action Ninja Turtle movie?
I think, we just talked about growing with your fan base, right? I think the fans deserve this because a lot, like, Turtles came out in, 85, 86 or whatever. Like, those fans are about 40 now. Like, they deserve something that's, like, a little bit older for them. And this wouldn't be forcing it because the comic was so awesome. Like, you just make a movie like the comic, the fans are going to love it. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, and this is one of the brands that's really put the work in. You know what I mean? So it's like they've had probably 10 theatrical films, maybe more. They've always had some sort of media on TV, or if Netflix streaming is been what they've been doing lately. But it's available, right? So that it's always available. They've always had toys on the shelves with Playmates. The weird thing is with Playmates right now, there is a possibility Playmates may lose the rights to Ninja Turtles. Because of a Viacom CBS buyout, which is because Nickelodeon owns Ninja Turtles, right? But Nickelodeon's owned by Viacom CBS. So there's like this weird thing going on about
That's
that.
why they're trying to get Power Rangers.
It's
They're
a
trying to get another
possibility.
brand.
I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I'm not saying that it's like 90% sure.
Something to
I'm
look
saying
at.
it's like a 5% possibility that Playmates may lose Ninja Turtles. But either way, it's just saying that on this is a brand that's been doing it right throughout. They haven't always been relevant, but they've always been there, right? Like they're like American Idol. It's kind of like never go away, even though like sometimes we know what's watching. But like, but yes, Ali, any thoughts on a rated R Ninja Turtles movie?
I mean, who doesn't want a rated R movie? First of all, I'm like, but I don't know. That's gonna be interesting because it's when I think of Ninja Turtles, it's always been PG or PG-13 at the most. So that's gonna be interesting. But
people don't realize that very first movie,
especially if some, like you've described the character that he's like an assassin, you know, kind of getting back, you know, his revenge and all that. Like, I can see it. I can see how people are gonna get excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. Even people don't realize that first movie was very dark. It was kind of dark. Like it wasn't like necessarily made for kids. It was more comic inspired, like Eastman and oh my god, I can't think of the second creator's name. Someone's gonna tell me in the comments anyways. But the original two that created the comic was more kind of like that. So all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and do the giveaway. So hashtag nostalgia if you guys want the Ranger Slayer flip head. I don't think that many people entered, so maybe it won't. I don't have to spend all that money on international. Unless it's Tanya. Tanya entered, so it might actually just go. Oh, is there an issue with the spelling? Oh, see, they're putting nostalgic. It's hashtag nostalgia. Let's see. Nostalgia. Oh, no, they're getting it. They're getting it. Hashtag ally. There you go. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen for transparency like I always do. All right, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's good odds.
Yeah, whoever entered is pretty much really good odds.
Oh, this is good. I know a few of these people in here. This is great.
It's gonna be Tanya. It was freaking. I
was hoping you had to get that international just because you threw it out there, bud.
She earned it though. She has been here. Like she's one of my day ones.
So you have to. You know what? So that $100 shipping ain't gonna be so bad then.
Nah, that'll be good.
Congratulations,
Tanya.
I love it. Thanks. Hey.
Wait till I get paid next week. If you can wait for that, please. I appreciate that.
Hey, thanks for winning, but you gotta wait a minute. That's great. Anyway, it's cool. Like it's free, so I'd wait. Like it's all good.
Right. I mean, it's okay. I've been saving money on no lightning collection, so I've been good there, right? So, which reminds me, I did get a little something this week. We got the Legend of the White Dragon figures coming. So a lot of Ali, this is JC Frank's last project. So this came in from Valaverse. I don't know if I should. I don't really open my stuff, but I don't know if I should do a review or not. So it looks good. I like the way
it looks awesome. Oh my god,
they packaged it really well too. So all right, guys, I think that's going to be the end for it. So I want to thank everyone for joining. Ali, thank you for joining us today. Shocking Nostalgia Con with us. Dan, thank you for joining us and talking everything. Both of you guys, like a lot of people were saying that they're finding us for the first time tonight, which is really cool. So we had like 60 people in the chat at one time. So I appreciate y'all being here. So of course, I want to give some shout outs. We got Ranger Restoration Repair. We got Ada, who says she's new here. Appreciate you being here. We got Tanya, who is going to be the lucky winner of her very first giveaway. We got Steven, Ryan, Wanda, AZ, Josh. We got Marv, of course. I saw Chanzo in here earlier. We have AZ. We got Roadhog. Dude, this dude, I do a lot of like just like in-chat giveaways. And this dude has won like 70 giveaways because he's like just been here. So he's a day one or two. Like he was here when like I had like 30 subscribers. So I appreciate it. That's
awesome.
We got Patrick. We got Sentai Ranger Donnie. Appreciate you being here. Sean Metal, thank you for being here. Scott, I don't want to say that name. Nagard. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. So, but thank you for being here. Mighty Morphin DJ, man. I haven't seen any videos recently. I need to check on you. If you've been doing okay, man, let me know. We got Nick Tillett here as well. So we had a lot of people come in through the chat. Appreciate you guys all being here, guys. I'll be taking a 2-week break for NostalgiaCon, like I said. I have to celebrate Mother's Day next weekend because otherwise I will be murdered. And after that, I'll probably be back like in 2 weeks. I talked to Deoxy. We're gonna try to do something with Deoxy 360.
Cool.
So he's big on the comic books. I really want to talk to him about that as well. So look out for that. We're trying to. He's in UK or is he Australia? He's Australian.
I think it's
He's Australian.
Australia.
So
I'm like 90% sure it's Australia.
So he's him and Tanya. It's Monday afternoon for them. It's Monday lunchtime right now for them. So we have to figure out stuff on that. But as always, guys, I never know when my next video is coming out. I never know what I'm going to do on my channel. It's super random. The only thing I can say is I think I'm going to interview the Lunar Wolf Ranger at NostalgiaCon and hopefully Walter if he has time. So we'll see about that. But you guys, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I appreciate you guys. Congratulations, Tanya. And y'all know what time it is. It's morphin' time.